Hey everybody, I'm Brandon Allinger from Propstore. We're here at a special auction preview for our upcoming Entertainment Memorabilia live auction, and very happy to have a couple of very special guests tonight, including Ricco Ross. Ricco,
Hey.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for
My
coming
pleasure,
out.
bro.
So Ricco, of course, played Private Frost in Aliens, and we have some original props and costumes from Aliens in this auction. So it's always very cool when you can kind of reunite an actor with something that they used in a major movie some years later, right?
It's weird because the movie's like, 30-something years old, and walking in there and seeing that stuff, it just brings it right back,
And you must get asked at fan conventions and such all the time about what it was like to wear those suits of armor, because they are real metal suits of armor, right?
They are real metal suits, and people, I don't think people realize, even when James Cameron gave us the suits, he says, listen, I want everybody to personalize their own suits. And it's easy if you're going to do it with a marker, but when you go to personalize something that's metal, you have to scratch it in and everything. And my problem was, like, if you notice on my suit, I had the heart, right? And I drew the heart first.
Okay.
And then I went to scratch in Heather, but halfway through I realized I don't have enough room.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So
That's why I said head.
That's why I said head.
That's hilarious. But you did it yourself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, I did it myself.
It wasn't like you just gave the instruction to a prop guy who went
No,
and
he
did it.
gave. We got our own individual armor, and we personalized it ourselves.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And when was that? Like right before shooting started, or?
Yeah, it was before shooting started.
Yeah.
Finally got it. Terry, I can't remember his last name, who made the props.
Oh, Terry English.
Terry English.
Yeah.
And we had them, and finally we had them. They fit right and everything, because when we first put them on, you have to realize that you have to move your arm a certain way, and does it feel right? And Terry may have to go back and bend the armor a little bit so it
Tweak
fits.
it, yeah.
So once he finally got it so it worked, now it's yours to personalize it.
Yeah. And how was it to wear? Was it comfortable or is it a little rough?
Terry did a great job. Terry is a master at what he does. But you got to keep in mind that you're wearing a uniform underneath it, and then you're wearing the armor on top of it, and then you're under the hot lights, and then you got smoke. So, it can be a little claustrophobic at times.
I'm sure.
But
Yeah.
it was an amazing adventure, and
Yeah.
I was happy to be a part of it.
Well, we'd love to step inside with you and show you a couple
Sure.
of pieces in more detail.
I'd love to see it.
Okay. So we have here one of the original Frost costumes from Aliens. I guess the first question would be, what is it like to see it again?
It's weird. It really is weird, because it does take me right back there. I tell you what it did. When you walk on set, you're talking to everybody, and there's a lot of time when you're just hanging out. And as they say in the business, you rush to wait. But once you put this on, then I was Private Frost. When I took it off, now I'm back to Ricco. But when I put that on, I was Private Frost. Yeah, you feel in character once you get all that stuff on. Yes, reunited after 30 years. The coolest thing about this for me, first of all, I was impressed with the attention to detail in the back. This thing here, I remember learning why I was there, and then the thing that I really got off on. Some people think it's this, but no, I got off on this baby here. That little eye thing, I thought that was just so ahead, so kind of like advanced and thinking, because I had the computers were out then, but they were, big and heavy, and the idea that you could just see everything through here, that man was so ahead of his time, it's ridiculous. I always was impressed at how he would come up with these things that, maybe he got them from comic books or something like that, because that's the only other thing I can think of that's so ahead of the game. But he was actually making it real, taking these things and coming from his head and making them practical. So when we got the helmets, it was impressive. To have a camera, that was just like really unthought of at that time. And then to actually be able to see what's happening elsewhere from this little lens, yeah, this is a cool little thing. That you have it up there, and then when you want to look and find out what's happening elsewhere, bam. I remember being really impressed because I saw it and it was metal, and I'm thinking, this is real metal, and because you see this. I play football too, and in football you have a similar kind of thing, but it's plastic. And they brought this, and this was real metal. I was very impressed, and just thinking, I hope this thing works out, because you got to move around in it, and if it's metal and you move the wrong way, you feel it digging into you. And Terry, the prop master, would have to go and tweak it every now and then, because we would work on it and we'd do something to fall or whatever, and then now he's got to put it back so that it feels comfortable.
I guess it was for a special effects shot where it was put on a mannequin and they actually lit the mannequin on fire and tossed it over the railing. Were you there when they shot that day?
I was there when they shot the mannequin. I was there when they shot the stunt guy, and I did my own thing. So it was interesting, because James says, this is what I want you to do. I want you to say your lines, and then I want you to look, and then when you see this flame come up, I want you to back away from it, and I want you to shoot and then fall over here. So I would have to do all of that, and then we would stop, cut there, and then Clive, my double, would come in, and then he had to do the same thing. But I remember the first time he did it, they put him actually on fire. So he had like 3 different layers. He had a layer underneath, a protective layer, then he had the outfit on, and then he had this on. He had some type of oil too to kind of keep him safe. And the first time he did it, they lit him up, and he fell over, and it was a nice shot. And then James said, listen, I want you to do it again, but this time, when you do it, once you start getting on fire, I want you to try and put yourself out. So now he's asking this guy, while he's on fire, to put himself off before he falls down three stories. And so he did that, and it was perfect. And then James said, just to have, I know we got one, but let's just do it again. This time we're going to really light you up. And he lit him up even more the 3rd time. And I was glad, because this whole film was shot in England. And back in the 80s, it was not a big deal to have a black actor, but then have a white stuntman, because you had this guy on and he can do several stunts for various people. But they actually found this guy who was my height, my size, and a black guy in England that was a stunt, and he was a very good stunt guy. And they brought him in. I was really pleased that they brought Clive in, because I knew he was going to make me look good. Before I did Aliens, I'd gotten cast in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, wow.
And that was a big to-do, because I had 8 weeks, had been offered 8 weeks on Full Metal Jacket, but it overlapped 1 week. And James says, listen, I'll let you come back if Stanley Kubrick releases you after 8 weeks. So I went to Stanley Kubrick and said, listen, can you release me after 8 weeks? He says, no, I can't do it. I don't know how long it's going to take. And that was wise of him, because Full Metal Jacket, I think, took about a year to actually make. But I think I made the right choice, because we're shooting at the same time, and some of us would hang out after work, and they were having a horrible time. They were miserable on that shoot, and we were having a great time on Alien. So I think I made the right choice. I tell you, I think I can still fit in this thing.